let's find out. Well, starting off at the top here, we got their stats from last season. Obviously, they were 6-11, 26th overall team according to PFF, the 23rd overall offense, and the 27th overall defense. 6th overall for the special teams. These are all according to PFF, so take it for what it's worth. If you trust PFF, good for you. If you don't, well, then good for you. This is what we got, and this is what we're rolling with. So,
Overall stats, I'm good with PFF.
yeah.
I'm good with certain positions with PFF, and some of them I'm just not even going to look at their grades because they don't make no sense. Like, AKA half of wide receiver grades.
Yeah.
Um,
But these also aren't the say all, end all, be all, whatever you want to call it. There are some positives from last season and everything, and some things that you can take away. And also, obviously, it was kind of a bad season due to Matt Nagy and that whole system and the GM and just things not clicking well all the way around the whole entire organization.
yeah, kind of in disarray. It seemed like the defense finally just put up and shut up. They were just done.
Hmm.
They carried the Bears for a few years ago, and it kind of just feels like they got worn out. And they got rid of a lot of those key guys already. They lost Eddie Goldman and Akeem Hicks, traded away Khalil Mack, got rid of their safety that I'm blanking on his name at the moment. Like they got rid of a lot of Goldman,
They already said Eddie Goldman.
Eddie Goldman, Eddie Goldman. Who was the safety? Oh my gosh, I'm spacing. I hate when this happens. It's late, guys. I'm sorry. Um. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So he got rid of a lot of that, and like you said, Orlando or Ryan Pace GM was fired, and they picked up Ryan Poles as the new GM, who didn't really get to build his team from drafting. They didn't really have a lot of
Hmm.
draft picks per se. We think that they did do good in the draft with what they did have, though. Both of those guys were kind of on our higher up on our boards, and
Hmm.
Jaquan Brisker was one of our sleepers. Um, but Ryan Poles in the offseason, like with their team and free agent signings and trades and stuff, it's not looking good.
No.
Uh, I would not be happy. But let's get. They got Ryan, wide receiver Brian Pringle from the Chiefs,
Yep.
a good wide receiver three. They traded for wide receiver Nikhil Harry from the Patriots for a seventh round pick. You know, practically nothing for another wide receiver three. Um, they did get a new head coach in Matt Eberflus, who is the previous defensive coordinator from the Indianapolis Colts. So they made some adjustments. They've added some
Hmm.
pieces. Um, they still have Eddie Jackson in the secondary, which is a good weapon for them. But really, it comes down to just this offense, right? Like the defense, it isn't as good as it was previously. You know, you're losing a lot of your big main pieces that have been part of the team for, you know, some of them like up to like 8 years. I think Akeem Hicks was there forever.
Hmm.
So you're getting the turn of the new guard, which is bound to happen. You guys obviously kind of ran that team down to the ground. That wasn't going to win you anything anymore. It's kind of time to rebuild. Um, but you guys drafted Justin Fields, right? And that's kind of how we're basing this video. Can he bring them out of the fire and get the Bears back to being competitive and making playoff football again? Um, and if you've been reading our key points, we don't think that he's done a good job. I mean, they've done nothing to help him weapons wise. I mean, you're added, like I was saying, like wide receiver threes. Like you're really not adding anything. You lost Allen Robinson, who's a good wide receiver that you couldn't even get the ball to or use correctly in his entire time being there. And you replace him with two guys, one guy that can even has basically been banished from his team for the last year and a half. And then Brian Pringle, who wasn't even like a wide receiver three, he was a 4 or 5,
Yeah.
basically. Right? Like there's no weapons for him. There's Darnell Mooney, Brian Pringle, N'Keal Harry, Cole Kmet, um, the rookie they just got Jones Jr. from Tennessee.
Oh yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, and that's it. St. Brown. They picked up St. Brown, the other St. Brown.
Oh yeah,
Equinemius. Yeah,
equidilious.
Equinemius.
Yeah,
Right, but that's not a wide receiver core that's worthy of like NFL. Sorry, that reminds
that
me of the
might,
Browns wide receiver core last
yeah,
year.
that might be one of the worst in the league. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I love Darnell Mooney. I mean, that guy's incredible. The guy's route running's crisp. He gets open, creates so much separation. He's lights out with speed, and you can't even do anything. And that
Can't
and that
hit him.
gets us to like, what?
Can't hit him.
Nope, no one was. And you know, the that we'll just go to like the will Darnell Mooney ever be able to break out now? Like, will he be allowed to?
No.
And I just don't see it. Like, I don't see how he can improve much more. Like, the targets were always going to be there. It just doesn't matter when the offensive line is so bad that Fields has to run for his life. It's setting him up for failure. It's really sad to see. I don't see how they improve this year. I really don't.
I don't think.
Um, yeah, they lost and removed a lot of their veteran pieces. We went over that, right? We talked about who was leaving already. Um, they didn't really do anything to add weapons. You know, they added kind of tier 3 or 4 players. They did literally nothing for that offensive line. They're just going to go out basically with the same thing. They
Yeah.
drafted a guy in the 5th round. Like,
Yeah, they did. I can't remember his name. I looked at it earlier, but yeah, a guy in the 5th round.
and Fields was running for his life every game.
And
all game.
he's the new left tackle. He is that pass protector. He is going to be protecting Justin Fields.
Which is just crazy to think that you're relying. You spent this huge draft pick on Justin Fields, who is an incredible talent. Everyone agrees, right? He's obviously got speed like none other. He's got a rocket for an arm. He can hit all passes, and he showed that some plays in some games. But he's got no time, and
Yeah.
having no time as that young kind of quarterback, it just screws him and sets him up for failure because your footwork's always messed up. You never get into rhythm.
Yep.
Like, you just set so many bad habits.
I mean,
I'm
one thing that Bears fans could try and say to kind of help out like the Brian Pringle and N'Keal Harry thing is, well, Brian Pringle, he's a burner. He's a deep threat. But Justin Fields can't sit in the pocket long enough to let that route develop and let him get down the field to be able to throw it to him. Therefore, you just wasted money on a wide receiver that won't be used because you're not able to allow plays to develop long enough to be able to hit your burner, your deep threat guy. And you got N'Keal Harry as a jump ball, deep or contested catch kind of guy. But N'Keal Harry barely even made it on the Patriots roster. He couldn't. And our wide receiver group is not by any means great in the NFL. And he couldn't even break out there, and he couldn't catch a football. That's why he didn't play. Couldn't catch anything that was thrown to him. He couldn't get open. His route running is not good. Like, he's not a good wide receiver. So, I mean, you guys are just adding crumbs from other teams, and you guys are just hoping that, well, the team was good. This guy's got to be good. No, it's not how it works. Brian Pringle, burner. I mean, that's about all he has is speed. Route running's meh. Catching, meh. Separation, meh. N'Keal Harry, not fast. Can't catch. Can't create separation. And then you drafted 2 defensive guys that, I mean, Kyler Gordon, good.
He's a baller.
He's a baller. He's good. Jaquan Brisker, he's good. I mean, you got 2 good guys there, but then the rest of your draft is it's okay. But I mean, the pieces.
You can't rely.
Yeah,
You can't rely on those guys in 4th round plus, 3rd
Yeah.
round plus
those are guys
to
that
make like major contributions.
yeah, those are rotation guys that you throw in here or there, and maybe they surprise you and earn a spot. But you're not always banking on every 4th to 5th to 6th to 7th round guy to just come in and make that impact and be that starter on your team. That's kind of what you guys are hoping for right now, and that's just making your team worse.
And if you're a Bears fan watching, like, we're not trying to just bag on your team, right?
Oh,
Like, I
no.
like the Bears. I've always kind of liked the Bears, But like, it's rough seeing because I like Justin Fields. I kind of like
I love
Ohio
Justin
State.
Fields. I love Justin
Right?
Fields.
and he's got no chance.
Yeah.
Like as a Browns fan watching my entire life, like that's what I'm seeing right now is what we used to do for like our teams. Like for our quarterbacks that we would get. Like they had no chance.
Yeah.
Like we draft him and be like, okay, cool. This guy's got no chance. We have no weapons.
Yep.
We have no line. Our coaching staff is in disarray. And I just see that same thing. Like there's only so much what coaching can do, right? They can improve it a little bit from last year, but that offensive line was so bad. And like I don't know, it's just sad to see.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm wrong, and Justin Fields can just blow up, and all these guys step up. But I just think he's doomed from the start, like it said.
From what it is on paper right now, the odds of that happening are very slim.
Yeah.
But
and I just think it's messed up. Like you can't go in and have 2 years before you even start trying to like help out your quarterback.
Yeah. To the point at the bottom when I say he's a bust, no, we know what Justin Fields is all about. We know what he can do. So, but yes, get the man some help. Get the guy a line. Get him some actual receivers, not breadcrumbs from other teams.
But that's kind of like the gist of the team. I mean, I don't want to like bag into it. Obviously, it's got the Bears have always had a good defense. I think it'll probably drop down a little bit, and those numbers look bad, right? 27th defense overall, but a lot of that is always because of the offense. The defense is always good, and then they just give up. Like you can only hold and do good for so long before it's just tiring out, and you get deflated basically. But Bears fans, let us know in the comments down below what we've hit or missed. We've kind of been like upset. That's something we talk about quite a bit about Justin Fields. It's just kind of irritating to see. But let us know what you guys think. Before we go, we like to end. Mikey, 6-11 was the record last year. Mm-hmm. They staying the same, getting better, or getting worse this year?
Well, you also have to take into the fact that they have like 7 to 8 easily winnable games on their schedule. So I think with all that being said, that their record's going to be going down. I don't think the new coaches are going to be firing on all cylinders right away. I mean, the amount of times that happens in the NFL is very slim. I think it's going to be, they're rebuilding for sure. They're not looking for they're not going to get any great success right away. They have one of the worst rosters in the NFL. They have a few key players here and there, but so does every other team that has a terrible roster. They all have 1 to 2 to 3 good players on their roster. So they have one of the worst rosters in the NFL. Yeah. So, the Bears, they're rebuilding for sure. Hopefully with the new GM and everything, they can actually make it out of that rebuilding stage and actually become that hopeful playoff caliber type team. So, but right now it's not looking good for them. I think that the record's going to go down. I think they could be in that 3-14 or 4-13 range. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of harsh. I know the NFC isn't as good as the AFC. I know it's a little bit weaker on that side, but there's not many positive with the Bears, and with not many positives come not great results. So
right. And it's another thing, like I think it's also going to go down. Sorry, I just cut my eye, or poked my eye. I think it's going to go down as well. It's rough, and in order to make the playoffs and improve, you have to beat your division. Aaron Rodgers owns the Packers, right? Like that's a joke that's been going on, but it's true. He doesn't lose. It's basically 2 losses right there. The Vikings have been playing the Bears very well. And the Lions got better. So, like, you got the Packers that are obviously going to be good. The Vikings and the Lions got better. And the Bears are the ones that, like, you could say regressed. So, it's just not a good look. I think at best, you probably end up at this 6-11 point again.
Yeah.
Kind of where I'm thinking.
But that's the ceiling right now.
Yeah, for me. But if you guys made it to the end of this video, we do appreciate it. If we didn't bash your team too much, and you guys are still willing, please hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate it. And hit the notification bell so you can hear our opinions on a lot more things. So,
yep.
Other than that, you guys have a great day. Deuces.
Peace out.